Hi students, we will start from the very first lesson in first unit, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. Before going into details, we will see what is reproduction in a very simple way. When we say it is production of young ones, like parents. Then we will see what is its importance. As science students, when we study something, we will see its significance or importance. Why it is essential? It is essential for the continuation of species. It is essential for maintaining the continuity of life. So, for the continuity of life, every organism reproduces its young ones. Now, there are enormous varieties of plants. Last year in 11th standard, we studied about the classification of plants in kingdom Plantae. The enormous varieties from a single-celled plant to the largest trees we have seen in the classification of plants. So, these varieties of organisms, varieties of plants, each one will be choosing a particular method of reproduction. And we can categorize or we can divide into two the types of reproduction. We will see each one. The two types of reproduction are asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. You all are familiar with both the terms. We will see first what is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means producing their young ones without fusion of gametes. Gametes are sex cells. So, without fusion of gametes, when young ones are produced, we can call it as asexual reproduction. Okay, we will see the definition. It is the process resulting in the production of genetically identical progeny from a single organism and inherits the genes of the parent. Say each term, genetically identical progeny. That means the progeny means what? Offsprings or children. They are genetically identical. Genetically identical means the genetic makeup will be identical or same. Same like whom? Same like their parents. So, genetically identical offsprings are produced from a single parent. You can say single parent, and of course the genes of the parent, it will be inheritance to in the offsprings. Now, this single parent, it is the most important characteristics of asexual reproduction. It is uniparental. Only a single parent is involved. Okay. Now we will see what about the offsprings, what we can call the children or offsprings of this asexual reproduction. These offsprings are known as clones. The morphologically and genetically identical individuals produced by asexual reproduction, they are termed as clones. They will be having the same genetic makeup like the parents. Okay, understood this both? Then we will go into the different types of asexual reproduction. The different types, one by one we will see through the examples. First one is fragmentation. The given example, it is Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a very common example which we study in biology. You might have you will be remembering about this because it was a practical specimen in 11th standard. See, it is having a long filamentous body. This long filamentous body, inside you can see the spiral chloroplast. This all actually we have seen in slide in the lab. Now here what happens, this long filamentous body bodied Spirogyra, it is broken into different fragments, and each fragment will be forming into a new Spirogyra. So this fragmentation process in Spirogyra, it will be taking place accidentally by some or other reason. If the body is getting into fragments, each fragment will develop into a new Spirogyra. That is it, actually its speciality. So that is the very common example for fragmentation we get from Spirogyra. It is a multicellular algae, green chlorophyllated algae. It is, the chlorophyll is actually having a spiral structure. And now with respect to this topic, you have to remember it is reproducing by fragmentation. Every fragment will be developing into a new Spirogyra. If its body is getting into fragments, every fragment will be developing into a new Spirogyra. That is one example. Then what is the next type of reproduction? That is budding. Budding is a very common method of asexual reproduction in yeast. Yeast is a unicellular fungus. Here you can see, to the mother cell a number of cells or buds are attached. Okay, these cells or buds, they are actually, the division will be unequal. It is not necessary the cells or buds will be equal in size. Initially they will be attached to the parent cell. After some time they get separated from the mother cell, and each bud or each cell will be developing into a new yeast organism. So that is what is happening in budding. In budding, small cells or buds are produced on the mother cell, and these buds will be getting separated from the mother cell, and each bud develop into a new organism. That is what is happening in yeast. Okay, yeast is a common example. We have studied about yeast in 11th standard. Its slide also we have seen. Its economic importance we have discussed. It is used in fermentation process. Or anyway, here you remember about its method of reproduction, that is budding. Okay, now we will go to the next example. So the next method, it is spore formation. Example given is Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is a unicellular algae, a single celled algae. Another peculiarity of Chlamydomonas is it is motile or able to move. So you can see the flagellae. Okay, by this flagellae, the Chlamydomonas, it is able to move. Now how they are actually reproducing? By spore formation. The spores are known as zoospores. In the parent organism, inside the parent organism, there will be a number of spores, or zoospores more correctly. They will be formed, and the parent cell breaks, the zoospores are released out. Each spore will be developing into a new organism. So the parent cell, it is mentioned as zoosporangium. From that, zoospores are released out. Each zoospore develops into a Chlamydomonas, and it is this algae, it is unicellular, it is flagellated. Another peculiarity, they are able to move, motile algae. Okay, it actually about Chlamydomonas also we have seen in the example in algae Thallophyta last year when we studied kingdom Plantae. Now here you remember about its method of reproduction. It is by spore formation. Spore formation, and the spores are known as zoospores. They will be a number of zoospores formed inside the parent cell, zoosporangium, and when the parent cell releases these zoospores, each spore develop into a new organism. Now we have to see the next example of reproduction. The next method of asexual reproduction, it is binary fission. Examples given are amoeba, paramecium. In bacteria also it takes place. It is a very common method of asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms. Here this example is amoeba. A single-celled amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. See, a single-celled amoeba divides into two cells. Each cell will be developing into a new organism. Very simple process. Here what happens, see, the nucleus first elongates. It will be dividing into two, and the body also elongates, and then it gets separates, and that way two daughter cells are formed. Each one develop into a new organism, new amoeba. It will be developing. Okay, it is a very common method of asexual reproduction in lower organisms. Binary fission. Bi means two. One cell divides into two. Very simple way we can remember that way. One cell divides into two, and each one will be a new organism. Now we have to see the next example. Next type of reproduction, that is gemmule formation. The example given, it is sponges. Sponges, it comes under porifera. Here how the gemmules are formed? In sponges, especially freshwater sponges, when the season is unfavorable, okay, unfavorable climatic conditions are there, that time internal buds are developed in sponge body. Okay, these internal buds are known as gemmules. Here you can see a number of archaeocytes. This collection of archaeocytes result in the formation of gemmules, and they are protected by an outer layer. This outer membrane outer layer is having two layers. See this, here inner membrane, here outer membrane. Okay, this way a protective cover will be there surrounding the gemmule. Okay, this way when it is happening, I told you, during unfavorable climatic conditions. So a number of gemmules or internal buds, it will be formed inside the sponge body, and the parental body may get spoiled or disintegrated, but the gemmules will be there in the bottom of the pond or river, because more especially it is there in freshwater sponges. So it will be there in the bottom of the aquatic medium. When the seasons are becoming favorable, these gemmules will be getting attached to the substratum, and it will develop into a new sponge. That is what is happening in gemmule formation. It is gemmulation, we can call. It is a method of sexual reproduction in sponges. Okay, it is clear, I hope. We will go to the next example now. That is, next example is conidia formation. Conidia, they are actually spores only. The spores formed in Penicillium, they are non-motile. Penicillium is a fungus. So spores, it is formed in algae. One example we have studied before, they are motile spores, zoospores, you remember. Here in fungus, Penicillium is a fungus. In fungus, non-motile spores are produced. Non-motile spores are mentioned as conidia. Okay, the conidia, it will be attached, they will be attached to the parental body. This is conidia for the parental body. You can see many conidia, they are attached. Now here the conidia is getting separated, and each conidia, it will be germinating into a new penicillium. Okay, so in fungus, especially in penicillium, this way by conidia formation, which are non-motile spores. I repeat, non-motile spores. By this, actually germination take place, and that way they are reproducing or propagating each conidia will be developing into a new penicillium. Okay, about penicillium we have studied in 11th standard. Its importance, do you remember? It is very much important in the field of and in the field of medicinal production, in the production of antibiotic, that is penicillin. It is extracted from penicillium. Penicillium is an antibiotic. It is extracted from penicillium, and that way it is important. Okay, we have gone through this example in 11th standard also. Here you remember about its mode of reproduction, that is by conidia formation. Now children, we have seen different types of asexual reproduction in lower organisms. Okay, we have to study about types of reproduction, how it is happening in higher organisms, higher plants. That will be there in the next video. Now you have to study about this all types, and you have to give me the feedback, and next video it will be uploaded shortly. So go through this, study well, and give your feedback. Thank you, children.